All right, my man. So you've been traveling around the world. Things are good. You've been doing all these things, but I mean, you've had a busy month though. You had Usman first, then Umar, and then now you got Islam coming up this week. So a lot going on. Three big time fights. You had with Usman, obviously trying to shut up the critics. People saying that the first fight he lost or it was controversial and all those things, but this fight was not even close. It was very one-sided. Usman had a very good game plan, executed the game plan very nicely. Takedowns galore. Paul Hughes didn't get the credit he deserved. I was one of the guys that didn't give him the credit he deserved. He is a fantastic fighter, but this time around, Usman made it look easy.
Well, he made it look easier, and it's because he respected him this time. Mm-hmm. He didn't respect him last time, and that's what made it easier. He respected him, and we worked on everything. We worked on all the angles. We worked on the fact that I felt Paul didn't feel that Usman could beat him the second time. And you got to come in, you got to show this guy, you got to break him because he doesn't believe he can be broken by you. And you look at Paul's interviews, he gave it away. He gave it away, saying Usman didn't respect him again, this, that. And it was far from the truth. I said, he's fallen into that. Okay, I'm going to break that. But when he doesn't break him, who gets broken?
Yeah.
He does. So that's why at the very end, you saw he was mentally given. At the very end, Paul broke. He
had a lot of success in the first fight with stuffing the takedown, scrambling a lot, and then also countering off the kicks is what he did really well. Is one thing I noticed. The second fight wasn't as much.
No,
Usman just had it seemed like he just executed a lot faster, wasn't lazy with the kicks, did a really good job of fully executing the takedowns all the way to the finish.
Well, listen, in all fairness, when he fought him the first time, Khabib and I were in Las Vegas. We were training with Islam and Umar for their fight. Usman didn't have us. He wasn't with us for the whole training camp. And he's used to Khabib and I. Both of us need to be jumping on him. Not just me, not just Khabib, both of us.
Yeah.
And he had us both this time around. And we were both doing our part on what we do with him. So we got him mentally, physically, and in great shape, and compared to last time, there was no one to push him. No, he didn't respect nobody. His biggest respect is to Khabib and myself with Usman. So we need to be involved in his career till it's over, to be honest with you.
So talented, so explosive, so talented. And I was standing next to him earlier this morning. I'm thinking to myself, how do you make the weight? It's remarkable. Like, people think that Islam is big. Islam's big. Like, he's a little thicker, a little shorter than Usman, but man, Usman's just a big, very, very athletic fighter.
Extremely athletic. He does some things that we can't teach.
Yeah.
He just has it. He has the it factor. And as long as he keeps his mental intact, we're going to have a great fighter for many, many years to come. But he's got to keep that mental. If we don't get that mental intact, we're going to have problems.
This morning was the first time I'd seen him around here in Jersey. And I've actually had a good chance to hang out and talk to him a little bit this morning. Man, he's a character. He's a character, and people don't realize that. I think because they only see the fighters in passing or they only see them in interviews. But man, this group of guys they're just good people. They're funny. They got great personalities, but they're just good people.
They're good people. And listen, Usman, honestly, he fought a great fight with Paul. Paul gave him a great, great fight. And you would think that after the fight, most fighters, they're going to take a week, 2 weeks off. Then no one come around. The very next day practice, guess who was in practice?
Good.
Usman. The next day, Usman. The next day, Usman. The next day, Usman. He was there 4 days in a row supporting his brothers and doing everything. And then after that, what does he do? He comes here. And where's he supporting? Islam. What's he doing with Islam? He's sparring Islam. He's giving him rounds, That's the kind of brotherhood these guys have. That's the kind of love they have for each other. And that's what's going to keep them on top. And people need to understand that when you have that kind of love and that respect for each other and that skill set that these guys have, it's going to be hard to compete with these guys if you don't do what they're doing. You have to do what they're doing. It's very difficult. You know it as well as I know. I've been teaching you guys forever. Iron sharpens iron. So these guys, they have the mental and they have the physical and they're with each other all the time, supporting each other.
People don't realize that it's important to have the dedication, but also too just the loyalty and the camaraderie. Like, we had it in the beginning at AKA, right? It was very much like I was pushing you to hey, coach all these guys. These guys are all talented. They all moved across the country to be here. They want to be here at this gym, and it's very important that we had that mold and that. But we still didn't have it like these guys have.
No, we didn't have it like these guys because they don't have that strong religion base and growing up with each other. Yeah, you were the biggest reason, that number one reason why I'm in my position now doing what I love, because you kept pushing it. You would say, I know it's going to hurt me because I'm going to take less of your time with me, but it's not right. I can't be the only one getting this, So you pushed me. And remember, you pushed me with Trevor Prangley, and you go, at least train Trevor. At least train Trevor. I go, no, I'm not going to train him. I'm just going to train you. No, it's not fair. Not fair. And then you got me to train Trevor, and then I thanked you. I said, thank you, Josh, because it's because of you I became the head coach. I was always kind of like looked upon as that, but I never took that role until you pushed me into that role. And here I am now, 20 something years later, I'm still here and enjoying my life, and it couldn't have worked out better for me. And it was all due to your pushing,
Yeah. We were talking off camera before this, and I said, like, my approach was never the best. I was always naggy. I was always very like, I have that personality, but like, most people don't realize this. I have a big heart, and it really comes to like just wanting to make sure people have success, not just my teammates, but you. I knew we had such a great team. We had a great format. And then now with Khabib and Islam and all the other guys that come in, like, man, it's grown. It's grown so much. It's great to see so many guys. Because remember, we were itching for our first title, and then and then the boys got it, man. It was, Kane, DC, Luke. I mean, it was awesome to see all three of them. And then Khabib shortly after, and just grew. It just got so much better. It's gotten so much better. But let's talk a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit. We talked about Usman with his win, but now let's talk about Umar. Big win over Mario Batista. Kind of, I don't want to say made it look easy. Had a little scare there in the beginning, but the rest of the fight went smooth. Very, very comfortable out there. Do you think that he's learned? What has he learned, I should say, from his Merab fight? And how have you seen him mentally adjust since that loss?
Well, starting training camp on this one here, Usman told me, Coach, Umar needs you, please, I said, don't worry. I got him. As soon as I got with Umar, I went to work right away with him. And I love him so much that I can get to him, I can get him to do things because I can get him to see why he should do things correctly. And so I was doing that with him throughout the whole camp, and I was so happy with him. Like, he'd be out running the track, and then I'm doing something else, and then I'll see he's running track, and I go up there and I run and I encourage him and I push him and I mentally tell him why this is what we need to do, blah, 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 blah. And you can see every time I'm around him, it elevates him to another level. So I kept making sure I was there. Khabib noticed what was going on, and Khabib encouraged it. Khabib goes, Coach, go, because Khabib knew what I was doing, so Khabib, approving this method of what we were doing with Umar was a great thing. So we had to get him back where he felt confident that he can do this again. And he's going to, in my opinion, he's going to give it his best, and he's going to get another opportunity. And the Batista I knew was a real tough customer. And there was that scary situation where Umar leans into the kick, and he has a bad habit of doing that. And we got to break that habit. So he leaned into it. And you can tell he could take a good shot, because, that was a hell of a shot. Yeah. I heard it crack, and I'm like, oh, no. But he recovered so quickly, so that's a good thing.
You were telling me something off camera. You said Khabib wanted these guys to do a stress test. It was kind of a funny story.
Yeah, anger, stress and anger. Yeah.
A stress and anger test. And Umar was taking his, and you, like you said, you have a relationship with Umar that kind of dials him down a little bit. And tell me that story.
Well, what happened is they had this brain thing they put in the head with spikes, and it shows you your anger, emotions, and everything. And so it goes to a certain level, to the max. So when Umar's doing it, I said, Habib, who's doing it? He goes, 5 fighters, Coach. I said, okay. So I go and I look, and Habib's there with Umar, and because it's Umar, I want to know what's going on. So I go over there and I look. As I'm going there, I see the stress the highest, anger the highest. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? So I go and I touched Umar's leg. I say, relax. All of a sudden, it just started dropping. And everybody noticed that. He looks at it and goes, you give me that look like bullshit. He didn't say that, but he gave me that look like, I'm out of here. Yeah. So then I went and I started talking to Umar, and it went down all the way to normal.
That's funny.
It's because it's kind of like, he loves Khabib so much. He wants to show Khabib. But with me, I come with the love approach. So he loves me so much, and he knows that I want the best from him. We have a different approach, him and I. Khabib are different, and so I come in with it's okay, but I get the best out of him.
Yeah.
Because I want him to feel that I'm there for you. I'm going to listen to you. And that's the ticket for me. That's what works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but it does for me.
So Islam's coming up this week, and I had a chance to chat with him just a little bit last night at dinner. We went to Russian sauna, had some dinner and everything with the guys, but also talking to Khabib like a couple weeks ago. And he brought up to, this is going to be Islam's toughest fight. Stylistically, JDM is a very difficult fight. Scrambles really well, really good boxing. Kicks are mediocre, but he's very good at closing the distance in the range, and he's not he's not easy to hold down. How do you, without giving away any secrets, obviously, but in this, would you agree with that assessment? This is probably his toughest fight to date.
I've been saying it. Khabib's been saying it, that this is his toughest fight to date, and I'm not taking any of that back. I've actually respect that guy so much that I've watched seven. I replayed 7 of his fights. Of the championship fight with Bilal Muhammad. And I've actually went even to watch the one with the Gilbert Burns. And I went to watch some of his fights. I've never done that, not that much. I usually watch one fight, and that's it, I'm done. I've watched, I know how to beat him. I watched this guy 7 times. So that was obviously a big, huge respect for me, for him and his camp, and what he has going on. And the issue for him is going to be Islam. I happen to think I have the best pound for pound fighter in the world, and he's going to show it. He's going to show how good he is. So he's going to expose whatever he needs to expose to get that W, and he will do it. And I can tell you this: I've never seen him look so good, so good. Yesterday's sparring was off the chain, man. I was like, wow. I said, I got to give you a big hand for that, man, because that is the championship welterweight material right there.
Normally the week before a fight, right? Because he does cut a lot of weight. Every fighter, though, too. They try to get their weight down. That last 2 sparring sessions are not always the best. It's like you're kind of like, oh, man. Like, sure, you look clean, but, you're kind of already starting to starve a little bit. You're towards the end of your camp. You're, I don't want to say burn out, but you're like, man, I want this to be over so I can just fight. But you got a great performance out of him. How much do you attribute that to just he doesn't have to kill himself now to get to 55?
I attribute that a lot to that.
Yeah.
I really believe that because, sure, maybe he only has to drop 5 pounds less than previous because he put on some muscle.
Yeah.
If you look at him, he put on some muscle.
Yeah,
so he was walking around 189, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's like 19 pounds off. Okay, in the past, when he used to come into training camp, for the lightweight division, he was like 179, somewhere around there, maybe tops 180, maybe. So that's a good 25-pound difference. This one here, he came in at 189, 190, more like 189 when I saw him. So this is like 19 pounds. So there's a 6-pound difference for him. Huge. So that's huge. You know how it is with that. It's huge. So that's why yesterday he looked so damn good. He's so strong, so strong. And I don't know what those guys are planning with us. I don't care. I hear a lot of, the plan, this, that, we're going to, they throw away Islam's stand up like, oh, it's not better than Bilal's. It's easy. And I just don't know if they're thinking we're going to stand with them. It doesn't matter what they think we're going to do or not do. We're going to do what needs to be done.
I'm going to look ahead a little bit and talk about, okay, Islam wins the title, becomes a 2-division champion. There's another guy in the 155-pound division that's the champion there now. The biggest fight you could possibly make, for me, honestly, and maybe people think I'm going to be biased because obviously, but is Ilia Topuria and Islam.
I'm going to agree with that at the present time. That is in
the sport. I think that right now is the biggest fight in the sport.
That's the biggest fight in Topuria has made a wrecking of everything he's done. He's wrecked the last 3 guys, and whether you like it or not like it, he's wrecked them. And he's been calling out Islam. And you know what I like about him is that he's keeping it to Islam and Islam only. He's not attacking anybody else. And that, I don't care. A fighter does that. He can attack the other fighter all you want. You're going to fight him. You want to fight him, so you're going to fight him. So keep it to that. I'm good. I'm good the way he's doing it. I may not like some of the words he says, but we never do, right? But to me, he's not off base on how he's approaching this. He wants to be a talker, but he's doing it the right way. I appreciate the way he does
It
it.
feels very Connor-esque.
Connor-esque, but
I know we don't mention
proper-esque.
that name.
Proper-esque.
Very
proper.
He does it right though.
He does it right.
He does it in a respectful way, but also says it a little quirk here and there that kind of brings more attention.
Yeah.
But I get that feeling though and vibe from him. I mean, I feel like it's Merab and Ilya have kind of like joined a little bit to kind of go against Islam and Umar. And
that's great.
That's great. It's creating that little cross team rivalry thing.
Yeah, that's great. I love that because you know what? That's what creates interest. If nobody's interested, nobody watches. So for me, they create that kind of interest, then that's good. That's why I call this entertainment first, sport second. Because if it was a true sport, then doesn't matter what people want to see. It matters who actually earned the right to be there. You know as well as I know, this is a sport entertainment. Sport first. Entertainment first, sport second.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up on this. Give me your predictions for 2026, okay? Islam still the current welterweight champion. Umar possibly being the champion or being the champion. Will we see Usman in the UFC or will he finish out? Obviously, his contract, I think he still has with the PFL. Several fights on the contract. Like, what are your predictions for your team? I know you just had a new kid that signed who had a great performance on the Dana White Contender Series. He'll be now signed by the UFC. What are your predictions for 2026 for your team?
Well, 2026 looks very promising, and also we have our lightweight UAE champion, Amru. Mm-hmm. He just signed with the PFL, and he's another wrecking machine.
He's talented.
He's super talented, and Chanko, who won the contenders, who actually
what do they call him? Pork? They call him pork something?
No. Chanko.
Okay,
they call him pork. John Pork.
Yeah, John Pork.
So I don't know who called the John Pork. He's not John Pork.
Okay, but I was laughing when they were last night when they were working out. John Pork. Pork.
No, they're making fun of him, but it's Chanko.
Okay.
And he's incredible. And then we have two other guys that are fighting at the Qatar.
Okay.
We have a couple guys there that they just got on there too. There's a lot coming on with Team Khabib, and I'm AKA, but I'm also Team Khabib.
Of course.
So I'm both, and we have a lot going on. So in 2026, I see Islam Makhachev becoming definitely pound for pound number one in everybody's eyes because he would have won 2 divisions and he would have done it very, very impressively against a super, super talented Jack Della Magdalena, right? He's incredible. So I see that happening. I see Umar getting another shot with Merab sometime next year. And, if everything plays on our cards right, we'll be better prepared. And let's see what happens there. But I feel we can win that fight. I feel the first fight was, 2-2. And then the third round, the champ got it. He decided he did it the correct way. And we just got to readjust and come back, And Usman will continue to defend his title. He's going to defend it already on February 14th, I believe, at Coca-Cola Arena. He's going to be successful there. He's doing all the right things. And then,
do you have an opponent yet?
Yes, the guy
Should
that
you
beat
announce
Raji.
it?
No, he announced it. That that's who he wants to fight. So you know what? It's not official, but I think they're trying to put that fight together.
Okay.
They're trying to put that fight together. I don't know the guy's name, but he beat our other guy, Gaji.
Okay.
And he's good. He's good.
Alfie Davis.
There you go.
Yeah. I know Alfie called for it, and he was the winner of the PFL champion.
Yeah.
He beat Gaji Rabadanov in the finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's who it is. He's good. He's good, but he's not good enough.
No,
he's not good enough.
No.
He's and we'll see what happens after that. But I see that happening. I see Islam defending his title and crossing my fingers, White House. Crossing my fingers.
Is there a chance he goes up to 85 if he defends it once or twice and decides that, hey, let's go ahead and give it a try at 85 to try to make history?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to want to go 185. I think he's going to stay where he's at.
He's walking around 92 yesterday, 91, and then we got done with the sauna. He was like 88.
Yeah.
So he's filled out, but he's not.
No, he's not. If he was walking around 210 pounds of solid muscle like he is right now, then I'd say, okay, 185. But that's a lot of weight.
It is.
It's a lot of weight.
Take a look at Luke Rockhold, right? He's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, Luke was walking around 210.
212, somewhere in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's just a lot of weight. I don't see Islam doing that. Too much weight.
All right, Hob. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother.
All right.
Okay.